In this video, I'll show you why understanding your brain setup is the first step to meaningful change. We've never had more access to life-changing wisdom. Self-help books crowd our shelves, motivational speakers fill our screens, and transformation programs promise to unlock our potential. Yet somehow, we still struggle. We need a whole new approach. The key isn't finding the right advice. It's understanding your brain's unique starting point to know how to choose and use the advice. There seems to be a significant gap between the intention and effort people place in their personal development and the amount that experience a fulfilling growth. So why does the success rate seem so low? The reason we struggle is not that we lack discipline or willpower. It's that we fail to understand what our starting point is and where our strengths are. I'll show you a simplified version to give you a sense of what this means. If we haven't met before, I'm Maria, I'm a neurologist, and I explain the neuroscientific background of personal improvement. Picture 3 climbers, all aiming to reach peak resilience. This mountain represents the journey to becoming mentally resilient, being able to face life's challenges while maintaining your balance. Each one's journey is influenced by 4 key factors: their starting point on the mountain, their innate climbing abilities, their previous climbing experience, and their current climbing conditions. The first climber already has a decent baseline level of resilience and starts their journey from a natural plateau halfway up the mountain. They were also born with natural balance and strong grip strength. They were fortunate to grow up with supportive parents who taught them basic climbing skills and gave them good tools. However, they do have some early negative experience with heights that they will need to deal with. Their path upwards is rather smooth. It has resting spots and they have people cheering them on. While they still need to put in the work to climb and deal with their fear of heights, their journey is relatively straightforward. Our second climber begins from a lower base camp, but with average physical attributes for climbing and growing up near mountains, they still have a pretty good starting point. There are some basic tools available, but they will have to learn how to use them effectively. Their path is a steeper route with harsher weather conditions and only few scattered shelters. This means their path will require more technical skills. So their journey requires more effort and time, but it's very achievable with persistence. The third climber starts here and naturally experiences more fatigue and vertigo. This is someone who needs to first learn about climbing tools and then how to use them. Also, they start at the base of a steep cliff face and the path is rough. So even if they don't have the furthest to climb, their path requires specialized equipment, possibly a guide, and significantly more planning. Their journey isn't impossible, far from it, but it requires more resources, support, and understanding of the climb ahead. All of which might be challenging to acquire in the first place for this climber. While all climbers are capable of reaching the summit, their journeys look very different. Some might need more rest stops. Others might need to take a longer but more gradual path. And yet others might need to build additional skills before even attempting certain sections. Success isn't just about effort, support, or innate ability, but about understanding our unique combination of factors and choosing appropriate strategies. The key message is that our brains and circumstances differ. So now you might be thinking, okay, we're different, so what? Well, imagine spending years trying to follow advice that's actually working against you. The real question isn't just how to climb the mountain. It's understanding which mountain we should even be on in the first place, and what our climb looks like. Also, every day people judge themselves for failing at personal growth, not realizing they're using tools designed for a completely different brain setup. So, how do we end up here? To understand this, we need to first understand how our brains develop. We are born with our genetics in place, a predisposed temperament, and a basic map of what our brain is supposed to look like and how it should function. But aside from that, the brain is actually built on experience. We interact with the world, we observe, we try, we learn, and with all of these experiences, our brains are building and changing connections between brain cells. Your brain was literally custom built to your life experience. This makes sense since the world is a very diverse and ever-changing landscape. Children's brains are built to optimize their ability to survive and thrive in the environment that they're in. The tricky part is that most of our brain is built during a time in our life when we are not in control of our experiences. As children, we were entirely under the control of our caregivers and the environment we were born into. Children learn to understand the world based on what they're exposed to. And they also learn how they need to interact with this world to stay safe and connected with others. So we build coping mechanisms. And these get imprinted in the brain and follow us into adulthood. Think of it like inheriting a house. You can renovate it, but you need to understand the existing structure first. Some rooms might be perfectly functional, others might need minor updates, and some areas might require major reconstruction. This is where many personal development approaches fall short. They hand us renovation plans without considering our house's current layouts. They tell us to just knock down this wall without checking if it's load-bearing. Or they suggest adding a second floor before ensuring the foundation can support it. Understanding our brain's current setup, how it was built through our unique combinations of genetics, early experiences, environment, and learning, this is the blueprint we need before starting any significant change. And this is exactly why some self-help advice feels impossible to follow, while other advice clicks instantly. It's not about willpower or motivation. It's about match. When advice aligns with our brain's current setup, change feels challenging, but possible. When it doesn't, we're fighting against our own brains. Second, it helps us become a better curator of advice. Instead of trying everything that promises results, we can ask ourselves, does this approach match my starting point? Does it build on skills I already have? And does it account for my current circumstances? This saves time, energy, and most importantly, it prevents the self-blame that comes from following mismatched advice. The amazing part? Our brain setup isn't fixed. Thanks to neuroplasticity, which is the brain's ability to rewire itself, we can build new capabilities. But here's the key. Just like our mountain climbers, we need to choose routes that match our current equipment and skill level. Sometimes we need to establish base camps, building foundational skills before tackling more challenging changes. This is where understanding our differences becomes a strength. Every brain's unique wiring gives us different insights and strategies. When we share these perspectives, we expand everyone's toolkit. Our three climbers might each discover different paths up the mountain. And by sharing their maps, they can inspire each other to find more creative solutions for themselves. Because personal growth is exactly that, personal. But by understanding our brain's blueprint, we can make more informed choices about which advice to follow and how to adapt it for our own journey. Thank you for watching. I'd love to hear about your experiences. Share your thoughts below and subscribe for more insights on the brain and personal growth.